This is More Knowledge, More Wealth with your host, Gabriel Shahin. Gabriel is a certified financial planner and a registered investment advisor at Falcon Wealth Planning. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this broadcast and does not represent that the services or securities discussed are suitable for any investor. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the broadcast in the process of making a full informed investment decision. Now here's your host, Gabriel Shahin.
Good day. This is Gabriel Shahin, certified financial planner and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here on every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. My job is to go over the knowledge you need to increase your wealth. Now, to the listener, you can always reach out to myself or any one of our colleagues here at Falcon Wealth Planning. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short, where you can go on our Knowledge Center, which gives you a direct link to YouTube, where we've had well over 1 million views, multiple videos that help answer the questions that you have. And if you want to put an inquiry so we can talk about it on the show or create a Knowledge Center video, please send your inquiry to radio@falconwp.com. That's radio@falconwp.com. And also you can go get this episode, any one of our previous episodes on Spotify, podcasts, you name it, folks. Now, I'm the president of Falcon Wealth Planning. We are a fee-only, non-commission, true fiduciary, folks. And we talk about all important topics of personal finance. That's where you are today, how retirement looks like, investments, estate planning, insurance, folks, you name it. Anything that involves a dollar sign, we can help you with. And we are offering 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours of our time, folks, at no cost to help relate this show to your specific situation. And we have offices all across the country that we can help you with. Folks, give us a buzz. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird, where we can help answer those questions that you have to help with your financial situation. Lots to talk about today, folks. We are finally over the election season. We're finally coming together as families. We're enjoying and giving thanks to everything we have. We're watching our football. We're watching our sports. We're enjoying time together. We're eating more than we deserve, drinking more than we should. And we are trying to avoid 2 core topics during the holidays. And Thanksgiving, as we give thanks to everything we talked about last week, all the things we give thanks for, there are 2 core things people want to avoid talking about. Number 1 is politics. Yes, politics. We do not want to talk about that. If you're blessed enough to have a family that all loves, whatever, Kamala or Trump or whoever it was that you wanted to win, if you were blessed enough to do that, then you can be happy or in mourning together. But you don't want to do that. And the same goes for religion as well, right? I asked this question to some of my colleagues at work, or what are the 2 things you don't talk about? You know what they said? They said politics and finance. I said, what the heck are you talking about? Maybe they're skewed, but almost like inversely skewed because they're in the finance world. So it's religion and politics is what you don't talk about at Thanksgiving, remember? But then they said finance, and I started to spew out, actually, for that like awkward cousin that comes over or family member or your sibling's spouse that you really have nothing to say to or nothing in common for. Everybody has something in common with finance, right? So I thought, hey, let's bring up 10 topics that you could discuss with the awkward uncle or aunt or cousin or, sibling, spouse, whatever the case is. These are just normal topics. Like literally, you could just bring it up randomly. I'll start with number 1. Hey, so you're on track for retirement? Like, what? I'm 27 years old. What are you talking about? Or, hey, I'm 45 years old, whatever it may be. They're going to look at you a little, well, yeah, okay, well, let's go to number 2. You can ask the questions of, hey, so by the way, are you on any type of budget or anything? Well, why do you need to ask that, right? Because people are private, right? Well, no, I just buy what I want. Oh, I found it for me. I try to be on a budget. Sure, I can afford what I want, but like, not everybody wants to eat out every night. You'll be unhealthy, you'll be overweight. That's not what everybody wants. Heck, I was at a point in time I was traveling a lot. I was eating out every single night. You can only have so many steak dinners a night. I started eating salads. I started to look forward to those home cooked meals. So sometimes just asking and putting a budget out there like, what, I don't want to spend more than $2,000 a month on outside food, pretty much limits you to potentially 2 to 3 times a week going out to eat. It's just an idea that, hey, we're not a budget firm here at Falcon Wealth, but it's just a conversation about finance. Do you know where your money goes? And then you could just share a story. Hey, there was a month I spent $7,000 on restaurants. What? Gabriel, you spent what? That's insane. It's like, hey, I'm just giving you an example. For sake of conversation. You ever heard of sake of argument? For sake of conversation. Just sharing a scenario, sharing a situation where you can just talk about budgeting. Hey, you want to go and buy a bigger house? Interest rates are higher. It costs more. You're currently enjoying $2,000 a month. That new house may be $5,000 a month. And oh, by the way, with the bigger home, most likely will have higher utility costs as well. Your gardener might be higher. You may have a pool versus not having a pool. It could be an extra $500 a month. Yet again, making up numbers here. But this is just starts conversation, right? Everybody knows some level of finance, right? You can't say you don't. Everybody knows just something about it. So that's my number 2. Remember, on track, just, hey, are you on track for retirement? Number 2, hey, do you have a budget? You can learn from these people. Right? I'm a financial professional. I'm normally the person talking and teaching, but you might actually be learning. Number 3. So are you saving money every month? If nothing else, it's a conversation that you can kind of indirectly just complain about where we are with inflation. Complain where we are with higher interest rates. Complain of just all the things that used to be X amount of dollars back when you were in high school. Whatever the case may be. Hey, I noticed you got a new car. Man, wasn't that a lot more expensive than you paid a few years back? Or, hey, I noticed you got a used car. Super smart of you. Don't make fun of them. Right? We're all stewards of good money. We're not here to judge. We don't know anybody's situation. We don't want to know their situation. We don't want to know how rich or poor somebody is. But it's just a conversation. Yes, I save. Oh, what do you save? I just in my bank account. Hey, there's this money market I found online that was paying like 4%. Oh, really? I don't have that much. Well, even, $10,000 is $400 a year. It's just conversation. Hey, let them pay for your, cell phone bill or your gas bill or your whatever bill. Sometimes putting it into context could be helpful. Hey, that could pay for all the presents for your family. Let that savings account be the gift account. Use the interest to pay for all the gifts for Christmas. Yet again, just things. We're talking about giving thanks. We're talking about awkward conversation. We're talking about all this stuff. But these are just concepts that finance is actually a fantastic catalyst to starting up a conversation and truly getting to know somebody to see how they look and their perspective of life. By the way, folks, if you're just joining me, you're listening to Gabriel Shahin, certified financial planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth, here on every weekend, talking about all important topics of personal finance. And the reason I look at money as just a basic conversation of life is this. I may ask somebody, hey, how do you envision retirement? Hey, what do you expect to do when you have all this extra free time? Hey, if you win the lottery, just fun conversation. Some people have a tough time asking that, right? But what if you ask somebody, hey, what does money mean to you? Well, money is a tool to pay my bills. It gives me financial independence. It allows me to help the causes that I don't want to help. It allows me to spend more time with my family and kids. Well, guess what? They indirectly painted a picture of what their retirement would look like if they had all the time in the world. You get what I'm saying? So you're just getting the person out of their shell to talk and start to visualize a concept of money, savings, and goals, right? I'm not here to say selfishly plug Falcon Wealth Planning is who you want to work with and who you would recommend, which, oh, by the way, I would tell you to promote. But the whole conversation is just for you to communicate with others. It's a responsible thing that everybody has to deal with. Truly, everybody has to, especially assuming they're working, but even like the millionaires in your family, they respect those type of conversations. They don't get to talk about money with other people. They don't have to tell you how many zeros are at the end of the bank account versus yours. but they can at least answer the questions of if you're on track for retirement. Oh yeah, I can retire anytime. Oh, great. What advice can you give me for somebody who would like to one day retire? Did you ever do a budget? Oh, and you're saving, so obviously you're saving money, right? For all we know, it's like, no, I'm not saving. I'm just going to sell my business for $10 million. Whatever the case is. The fourth thing, just an interesting conversation, and the answers you'll get from this vary from person to person. And that is, do you save into a Roth IRA or 401k or a traditional IRA or 401k? Just hearing the concepts and the ideas of what people are thinking about each of them is so important. And if they're not saving it, anybody like, oh, okay, pass the yams. The idea, I feel like I should have done this last week, talking about the holidays throughout Thanksgiving. But you know, when you really think about it, it's just having a dialogue and a conversation of just where people's mindsets are at. Where do they want to save their money and why? Maybe it can motivate you to save it in traditional versus a Roth or a Roth versus a traditional. You know, it's just having this conversation. And you get to really see the intellect of the people because yet again, every person has to deal with finance. Some people are completely submissive about it and pass it off. Other people take control of it. And it's just a good conversation to have. Which leads at this segment to number 5, and that is, do you invest? Oh, you invest. Okay, are those any, what type? Tell me more. What does that mean? Oh, well, my favorite investment, I like investing in stocks, or I'm a big real estate investor. You know, I actually invest in businesses. It's just people normally put their money to work. Successful people, and ideally, if you're lucky, whether you get along with the person or not, your goal should always try to be to learn. I know we want to watch football. I know you want to have a drink. I know you want to eat yourself to be 2 sizes bigger where you can buckle up that belt there and give it a little bit more room. But it would be nice to learn from people a little bit more than what you know yourself. I try to do that every time. I try to surround myself with some of the most successful people in the family and learn from them. So, and if you're, by the way, the smartest person in the room, that's great. But to think that you know it all is incorrect. The fact people are 10 years older than you have seen things that you haven't seen, whether it's been a correction in the market, whether it's been in real estate, whether it's situations in general with taxes, they are able to have a good conversation and dialogue with you. So investing, that question always, hey, by the way, are you doing any investments right now? You know, the elections are over. Some people say that they're waiting until the elections for them to invest. So yet again, can be a very good dialogue. I got 5 more. Remember, we're going over the top 10 different things, conversations you can have during the holidays, especially as we're during this Thanksgiving weekend, where we can discuss finances. It's not a topic to avoid. Remember, it's the 2 biggest ones is politics and religion. Finances is a comfortable conversation, and the more you can incorporate that in the family, I promise you, the better you will all be. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after a few words. This is Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner and President of Falcon Wealth Planning. We wanted to offer you a free financial assessment for listening to the show so you can help relate it to your specific situation. We offer multiple services such as retirement planning, where you are today, how retirement looks like, talking about Social Security, real estate, planning, even if you own a business, talking about taxes, not just how to save money today, but also throughout retirement. Talk about investments, making sure you're avoiding those high fees, costs, commissions, and also estate planning and insurance, just making sure you're properly protected if, God forbid, something were to happen. And we're offering 1 to 2 meetings, 1 to 2 hours of our time at no cost. Give us a call. We would love to help. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short, and fill out the form fill right there on our site. We would love to help you in your financial situation. We look forward to serving you. Welcome back, folks. This is Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here on every weekend. And we are talking about all important topics of personal finance. And today we are talking about the idea here of Thanksgiving and just coming over this weekend and still maybe having family in town and approaching the holidays and Christmas and so on, and going over that awkward conversation you may have with people, and to trying to avoid talking about religion or politics and talking about finances. People think you shouldn't be talking about financing. I'm saying it's okay to talk about finances. I'm giving you 10 core reasons of what you could do to bring up to that awkward uncle, to that awkward family member, or the spouse of a family member that you don't really care for that you're stuck to sit next to. And just asking, the first 5 in the first segment I went over is, are you on track for retirement? Or if you know they're saving for a house, for their house. Do you do any budgets at all? Or you just buy when you want? Do you know how much you're spending on groceries, on gas, and so on? Savings. Do you save? Do you do Roth versus traditional in your 401k or IRA? And do you invest? Trying to get what that is, which leads to number 6. Question, hey, what's your favorite, depending on what they say on number 5, do they invest? What do they invest in? Real estate, whatever. Ask them. If they say stock, what's your favorite stock or investment or indice? What is it? Oh, I'm just doing the S&P 500. I do the Vanguard fund. Oh, really? Which one? VOO, VTI, whatever the case is. Hey, curious. Oh, S&P 500. Oh, no. All my money's in Tesla. Oh, wow. So you must be really bullish on that. Yeah, no, Elon, I love him. I want a Optimus robot in my house next Christmas. Okay. So just curious. But the idea is just try to learn. Somebody's like, yeah, I put all my money in real estate. Oh, really? Like residential, commercial? Like, tell me, are they all like here locally? Do you have some out of state? Do you have some in like different type of commercial? Is it industrial? Is it warehouse? Is it office? Is it retail? There's multiple different ways to diversify. Just like how you don't have all your eggs in one basket in one stock. You don't really have all your eggs in one basket in one property or the same segment of property or on the same street of that property. Diversification is key no matter where you go. And then sometimes there's even the bond side of it. Oh, no, I'm safe. I just invest in bonds. Well, what type of bonds? Corporate bonds? Municipal bonds? Structured products? Other fixed incomes? Like, what are you talking about? And then, of course, you have those that just invest in businesses. Oh, I have a fractional share of this restaurant. I have another one here in this other business that's a specialty in my industry. I have another one that I put into this medical device company. I mean, those are pretty risky, but nonetheless, some people do that. You're just learning. What's your favorite one and why? Yet again, ideally, you just get to learn from somebody, and it's stimulating the mind where they appreciate the conversation. Number 7 is cash reserves. So like, hey, out of curiosity, do you have like a bunch of cash reserves? I'm not trying to sell you anything. But what do you think is a good one? You're not trying to ask to get a number, right? We don't want to know if somebody only has $5,000 or $5 million. Hey, what do you think is a good idea of cash reserves? Some people say, you heard of Dave Ramsey, right? 3, 6, 9 months of cash reserves. Do you agree with that? If I spend $5,000 a month, do you think I should have $15,000 to $50,000 in cash just for reserves and emergency? Hey, I've been meaning to ask. I'm just questioning, right? I'm trying to get different people's perspectives. Again, it could be that awkward uncle or cousin or whoever, and you could still ask that question. Especially now with the interest rates at 4%. And if somebody says, oh, no, I have a lot more than that, are you going to be buying something? You don't have to tell me what you're buying. Let's assume you have no big purchases or expenses coming up, because I understand then it makes sense to have large cash reserves. But if interest rates were at 0.5%, would you still have that much in cash reserves? Okay, what do you think is the danger level of somebody? It's different, right? You could have 2 people that each make $100,000, that each own a $500,000 home, that each have payments of $1,500 a month, they're each married, each with 3 kids, and one person may say, I'm okay with the $10,000 cash reserve, anything less than that I get nervous, and somebody else might say, nope, I need $100,000 or I get nervous. It just depends. But I think it's just a good conversation. Yet again, learn another perspective, not so you copy it, just to add to your bucket of knowledge. So you can make a decision of what makes sense for you and your family. Number 8 is talking about just the core concept of reinvesting. And this is a big piece that, we don't talk about enough, I feel like. And that is when you get money and when you're putting your money to work, what do you do with the proceeds of that? And I hear this a lot. And I see this on social media. It kind of annoys me, by the way, when somebody says, let your investments pay for your toys. And they're always driving a Ferrari. And it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure you had a lot of money. And that a lot of money, you invested it to produce more money. Now you even have more money. And you have so much extra money, you're buying a Ferrari. Don't make it sound like you buy a rental property that nets you $4,000 a month so you can go buy a Ferrari for $4,000 a month lease payment. You get what I'm saying? So that always bothers me. But there is a reality of when you are making money, how do you deal with it? Hey, when the S&P 500, when you're investing in it and it made 20% and you forecasted it was going to make 10%, what are you doing with that extra 20%? Are you letting it ride? Do you ever take anything off the table? Is it truly just buy and hold and let it grow? What happens when the market goes down? Does it ever concern you? So it's the true idea of just the reinvestment piece of your money. Are you consistently putting your money where you are consistently saving towards your goal? Because if you're doing that, then obviously taking the proceeds and consistently reinvesting it, whether it's on rental property or whatnot, or stocks or dividends, you are going to get there faster because that maybe wasn't part of the original allocation. Some people live off that money. Well, if you're consistently adding on it, then it might be a good thing. So it's just learning from others what they do, right? How did this person buy 3 rental properties? How does this person build a portfolio of $1 million? Now, you don't know they have, or you may know they have multiple rental properties. You most likely will not know they have over $1 million. So the idea, of course, with all of this is just asking the question on reinvestments. What is the strategy that you would have or you have for reinvesting your money? By the way, folks, if you're just joining me, you're listening to Gabriel Shahin, Certified Financial Planner, and your host of More Knowledge, More Wealth here on every weekend. We're talking about all important topics of personal finance. And I thought talking about after Thanksgiving, right? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We're giving thanks to everything that we have. We had a good time with family. Even if you didn't, at least you didn't have to work. And even if you worked, thank God you got a job, right? We always want to give thanks throughout this time of the year. And we say, don't talk about religion and politics. Got it. Check. But if you're looking at just the core finance conversation, there are so many things that you can talk about. I think the 9th thing that I recommend that you talk about is asking the question to yourself. Once you know that answer, ask it and say, if you could retire today, would you? It's either a yes or a no. You should know that pretty quick. Gabriel, if you were to retire today, would you? Nope. I would not. I love what I do. Absolutely. If you could retire today, would it be at a different capacity? Probably, but probably not. I love what I do. I don't think I would work less. I don't think I'd work even in a different capacity. Maybe I'd hire a couple more assistants to do some of the stuff and communicate with some of the stuff that I seem like sometimes I don't have time to do. But the idea is that I probably wouldn't change much more of what I'm doing because I absolutely love it. So the question is what about you? Because if you're asking that to a 30-year-old, absolutely. Well, what would you do with your time? What other passion projects would you be doing? Because you got to fill up your time. Because even if you're a golfer and golf every single day, that golfing actually becomes a job. I talked to retirees who thought they could golf every single day. And guess what? Maybe it's a psychological thing, but 9 months later, they're not as happy as they were golfing, let alone 9 years later. Think about it. Retirement could be 2, 3, or 4+ decades, depending on when you retire and your longevity. But just knowing that could be just a fun conversation. Hey, if you won the lotto, that's currently $400 million, what would you do? Right? Think about that. We got the 10 items on track for retirement. Budgeting would be different. Know where to save it. Roth versus traditional. Investing. What's your favorite investing? Cash reserves. Reinvesting your money. Right? And now if you could retire, kind of checks all the boxes there. If nothing else, you can ask that. It's just the idea of stimulating the mind with conversations about finance. Some of the smartest people I know, not that they have money on their mind nonstop, that's disgusting. But it's always trying to learn. And if you can learn something to enhance your financial situation, I mean, why the heck would you not? You get what I'm saying? The final piece to this, number 10. Now here I can do a little plug and say, are you working with a financial professional? Hopefully you could say, yes, you are. And hopefully a lot of our clients will watch this show and a lot of prospects come through the door. And we have a lot of people that reach out and reference this show and they learn a lot from it. And I'm happy they do. But truly, are you working with a financial professional? That's a good question. They might say, oh, I have a rep at Schwab or Fidelity. Okay, well, that person doesn't really give advice. They might be trying to sell you a strategy. Anybody give you any tax advice, estate planning advice, retirement planning, Social Security planning, real estate planning, investments? As we talked about taxes, There are multiple different things to advise on when you're talking about money. So the big question I would ask is, are you doing that? And if not, what's stopping you to do it? I'll give you an example. I've been working out for the past 3 years, pretty religiously, I should say. And even if I'm in good shape, if I were to have a personal trainer to do it with me, no matter what, it's going to enhance my situation. I'm going to be more fit. They're going to push me to be better. It's just why people have workout buddies sometimes. And you can almost think about that in every aspect of, forget finance, but in personal self-development. This is why some people have financial coaches. This is why some people have nutritionists. There are certain things that with a partner can hold you accountable, push you, and train you and deliver it to you, because the execution of it is crucial. They're going to have a better outcome. So I'm just curious, do you have a financial professional? I'm curious if they sometimes convince an insurance salesperson or an investment advisor that's selling product to an actual financial partner. Somebody takes a look at your overall situation to enhance your overall net worth, not just trying to find a product to offer to you so you can buy it and they make money off it. So having that financial partnership is crucial. And I'd recommend asking that question, folks. I'm going to recap the 10 questions to ask. Number 1 is, are you on track for retirement? Number 2, do you have a budget? Number 3, do you save? Number 4, do you invest in a Roth versus traditional IRA? Which one do you think is better? Number 5, do you invest? Number 6, what's your favorite investment? Whether it's stocks, real estate, bonds, whatever. Number 7, do you have cash reserves? And well, you don't want to get that number, but what is it? Number 8, reinvestments. Number 9, if you could retire today, would you? And number 10, finally, are you working with a professional? See what they have to say, folks. That was a fast show, folks. I want to thank you for tuning in with us this weekend. You can always reach out to myself or any one of our colleagues here at Falcon Wealth Planning. Our phone number is 855-963-2526. That's 855-96-FALCON, like the bird. Or visit our website at falconwealthplanning.com. That's falconwp.com for short, where you can go and visit our Knowledge Center, which redirects you to YouTube. We have over 1 million views, folks. And if you want us to discuss anything on YouTube, on the show, whatever, send your inquiry to radio@falconwp.com. That's radio@falconwp.com. And if you want this episode, any one of our previous episodes, you can go on podcast, Spotify. We have them all there. And folks, we want to thank you for your trust. We want you to feel free and feel comfortable to reach out with any questions that you have.